think most people, when it comes to Kobe and Steph and LeBron, they see the flash on the court. They see the payoff. They see the games won. They see the rings, the championships. They don't get a chance to see the hours in the gym,
right,
and the workouts, and you know what I mean, the constant dribbling, the constant shots. But in 7 years, you've seen a lot of people come and go.
Yeah.
You dig what I mean? Like with your incline, you've seen a lot of people peak and fall off.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
The difference is really, I feel like to master anything or to be a master, or if you became a master of anything, like the secret to it is really just to never stop being a student. Never feel like I know it all. Like be aware that you can learn something from a 5-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Be aware that you can learn something from somebody. You could just be a sponge. You can soak up anything from anywhere at all times. Even when you're not even trying to come up with music, like shit could just pop up in your head.
Right.
But I think with me, I just look at my past. Like that's a reminder of what not to go back to. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to move forward, and you got to put in the work. Like so many people want to take shortcuts in life, and I'm a firm believer of you get what you earn when you earn it. You know what I'm saying? So even though all the record labels and shit that I turned down, who's telling me things like, hey, we could pick up the phone, one phone call, and have you on the cover of Double XL, or do this and do all this for you, I always felt like that shit gonna come. It might not come as fast as what you promising it to me, but it's gonna come, and when it comes, I'm not gonna owe nobody. I'm not gonna owe nobody shit. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be like I earned it. You know what I'm saying? So that's just really how I am. I'm always working on the future. Like I always got like a syllabus of whatever the fuck I'm doing. And I'm my worst critic. You know what I'm saying? I gotta be my biggest hater first before I let somebody else hate. You know what I'm saying? Like, is this shit really fucking with my last shit? So right now it's like I am my competition. Like I have to either match this or surpass it. You know what I'm saying? If it's not that, then I can't put it out. You know what I'm saying?
Do you also take into account what some of your peers are doing? And when I say peers, I don't necessarily mean just everybody who's out. But I'm sure as an artist, you have some artists that you dig, and some moves that they've made that you can appreciate, some music that they make that you can really get into and you really dig.
Most definitely.
Do you check for them and say, I gotta catch that. Like I gotta, not even their wave, not even their style,
right,
but just quality wise, you want to see that level of quality. Do you think about that, or do you just keep it strictly with yourself and just compete strictly with yourself?
I think I keep it strictly with myself. Maybe if there is things like that I might admire about certain others, I probably really don't catch it. Subconsciously. You know what I'm saying? Consciously, and but I definitely, acknowledge when somebody else is doing their thing and, grinding, or that was smart, or that was clever, or that's how you supposed to carry yourself, just anything like that, So I've never been a hater, so.
Right.
That's what it is.
That's a very I caught something in what you just said, how you're supposed to carry yourself. I don't see a lot of that discipline nowadays. There's a whole lot of, well, I'm me, I don't give a fuck, I'm out here, I'm gonna do what I want to do regardless of who or what.
Right.
And I don't think those rappers have seen the consequences for being that way, so they don't think about it.
Right.
But it sounds like it's something you've given some thought to.
Yeah, I definitely do. Just even now, I was talking about in my album, I'm preaching about, inserting messages in my music, for the youth. You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of people that listen to my music who don't have fathers in their lives. You know what I'm saying? Or don't have big brothers to tell them anything positive at all. And I feel like it's my responsibility to do that. With great power comes great responsibility. So I feel like that's my way of showing my appreciation to God for blessing me to be able to live out my dream. Like I can't give you the same back. I can give the same thing back to God, but to show my appreciation is good. It'd be better that I uplift the people around me and the people that's listening and the people who attention and who ears that I do have, So that's just verbally. That's just what they listening to. I just can't give them that. Then it's like, oh, when I see him in person, he's just disrespectful. He's just loud as hell, and he's wild. Like you got people's attention. You not only giving them something to hear, now you're giving them something to see. You know, now you're giving them a way to act. You know, like, oh, such and such, he rich and he act like this, so I could do that too when I get rich. You know what I'm saying? Like, at any second, God could take all this away from any of us. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I stay grounded and I stay humble. You know, like I remember vividly what my past was like. You know, like I don't want to go back to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what that holds. I know what that has to offer. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you gotta lead by example. You know.
You actually beat me to it in a couple of ways. I know we have an issue where people don't want to hear from the OGs. People don't want to hear from anybody older than them. And, you know, they feel like they already know it all. You kind of already answered that one. And I was going to ask you, why do you feel a sense of obligation to give that message out or carry yourself in that way? Like, for what? And you already answered that as far as, like, giving it back to God. Now, that's interesting, especially with your album title, you know, kind of plays into your album title, Church, Fire in the Church. How do you balance some of the lyrics where, you know, in 1 second the chopper's going off and, you know, the Glock is out, extended clip, and then in the next minute, you know, I'm giving my thanks back to God because I understand that this could be taken from me. You know what I mean?
Right.
How do you balance that for yourself?
I just think any person, period, in life or anything, like somebody could try to act like they're 100% holy or act like they're 100% good. But how true is that? You know, how many rappers or people are going to come to their fan base and tell you, like, I'm not perfect. You know, I do make mistakes. Like, how would you look at Jesus any less if he said, I didn't walk on no water? I was just as human as you. I made mistakes. I've told some lies, but I was the motherfucker that gave a fuck about motherfuckers that it wasn't even my responsibility to give a fuck about. You know, I was the only motherfucker that was trying to uplift motherfuckers and help other motherfuckers out when it wasn't my job. You know, that's why people praise me so much. You know, because I was the only motherfucker that gave a fuck about more than myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, would you think of him any less if he didn't do these, you know, miracles or walk on the water like you heard about him? You know what I'm saying? Would you feel like, oh, he ain't shit, oh, he didn't do this, he didn't walk on water, oh, he not really shit, he just like us. Like, what if he told you, yes, I'm just like you, you know? I am just like you, you know what I'm saying? Like, God is your father as much as he's my father, you know?
Right.
Then what, you know? But I really just balance it because I tell people, like, I talk to my fans at my shows and I tell them, like, the things, it's the difference between the way that I'm living now and the way I was living then.
Right.
I don't want y'all to get this confused and think, oh, my favorite rapper, he going out wake up in the morning, put the strap on his hip, riding around looking for ops, pop some of their ass sometime, kill them, get away with murder, go back to the crib, get in the studio and tell us about it. Like, that's not my fucking life. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, a lot of these rappers not gonna tell you that that's not their fucking life if they successful. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I'm like, now I'm living my dream. I'm blessed to be where I'm at. You know, I'm like, but my past, I'm no stranger to that bullshit. Like, I've sold drugs. You know what I'm saying? I done pop motherfuckers and shit like that. You know, and I'm not glorifying it, but I understand it's, you know, anybody's past or struggle that's dark. It's 9 times out of 10 it's a entertaining story. You know what I'm saying? Anybody's come up is usually, or struggle is an entertaining story. You know? When people in high school and a fight break out down the hallway, everybody runs to the fight. You might find like 3 people that want to just keep walking and doing what they supposed to do and go to class. You know, but it's some negativity, but it's entertaining to see. You know what I'm saying? Just like an action-packed movie. You know, shit, it's some bullshit going on. Let's go see this shit. This is rare. Right. You know, so the choppers going off, all that type of shit. I tell people anything I talk about drugs, like I used to put the drugs shit in like past tense. When anything about choppers going off, it's expressions. You know, it's like like I said, I'm no stranger to it, and I know what it feel like to want to go get on a motherfucker ass. You know what I'm saying? Or you know, I know that feeling. You know what I'm saying? I know it oh so well. You know what I'm saying? So I know that feeling oh so well. So it's like I'm just tapping back into my memory when I do talk about it. If the concept of the song is you know, guns or bang bang and that's what it is, okay, I can tap back to my memory. I know this shit very well, you know. But I've talked to my family. I don't want y'all to think, oh, this is what makes you a real man. This is what makes you a real nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I tell them, like, shit, what I do on a regular basis, my sons come home from school, My oldest son, I make him do his homework. I test him on his spelling words. I make him read out loud to me for 20 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I make him lift weights for a little bit, and then he can go play, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Xbox One, basketball in the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
You know, go outside, get on the computer, whatever the fuck you want to do. You know, and my youngest son, I show him flashcards for about an hour. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, that's what your favorite rapper does. You know, I don't do what I used to do back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But it's sometimes I do reflect on it, and it's like, damn, that's some crazy shit. You know, I made it through that, and I made it through this. You know, so when I do talk about it in songs, I'm not lying. You know,
Right.
It's, I no, I just didn't do that yesterday.
Right.
You know, or, yes, I know what that's like. You know, so that's just really all it is. But I try to tell my fans to get their understanding.
Should that be the ambition for someone in the street to get to a place where you're with your family?
Yes, most definitely. And I tell
fans
fans too, like I know I got a lot of white fan base. You know what I'm saying? And they come out, you know, and some guys you can tell and look at them like, you don't know what it's like to be riding around shooting motherfuckers or shooting at motherfuckers and, you know, selling this. And I tell them that's not what makes me a real man or a real nigga. So I don't want you to go pursue that life thinking that to everybody else, I'm real now because I be having a gun.
Right.
Or I'm real now because I be selling this, I be selling weed, or I be selling crack or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I've never been the type of motherfucker that's like, oh, I'm hustling, I'm finna go to the club. I never been into the club. You know what I'm saying? I never really, you know, all that type of shit. Like, you got motherfuckers that be on social media, Instagram and shit, will show money on the side of their face. Oh, man, what's up, man? Like, you know, I don't do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is, those are material things that could be, that's a man's possessions. You know, if I steal it from you, now it's in my possession.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the value of a motherfucker is really what you give out, not what the fuck what you could take in.
Have you
You know,
thought, because you strike me as someone who's a big believer in karma.
Mm-hmm.
What have you done as far as kind of like a penance or to pay for some of the wrongs you may have done in your past? How do you make up for that kind of stuff?
I don't know. I could just say all of the messages and shit that I'm giving, I know it could fall on ears that I didn't imagine it even falling on. You know, and I'm cool with that. You know, so I got a line on my rap when I say, "You better heal, nigga. I'm just here to heal niggas." You know, and it means so much to me. It's kind of like a warning, and it's stating my purpose at the same time. You see what I'm saying?
Is that your purpose? Do you consider that your purpose?
Yes, I think that's my purpose. Like, I look at life like it's everybody. It's a big line, and everybody gets a turn to walk up there and talk at that podium, and then you have to step down when your life is over. You know, the next person come up. But what did you do or say while you was up at that podium? You know, to affect the line of people that's coming after you.
Right.
You know, you got up there and, oh, what's up, y'all? Move. I get lots of dough. I stay fly. I stay fresh. Like, who's gonna go try to research that 15, 20 years from now? Man, I just learned. He taught me how to, you know, be fly. He taught me how to be fresh. You know, like, it's like you're not giving people nothing. You know,
right?
Like giving something that they could walk away with and be like, man, after I listen to this nigga, that's why I move like this now, or that's why I go about life like this now. You know, I learned this from my favorite rapper. Like, my dad didn't tell me this shit. My dad he dedicated that song to his sons, and then I used it and told that shit to my sons. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit like that. Like, so when you got somebody's attention like that, it's like, whether you know it or not, or you want to be or not, you got the attention, so you a fucking teacher. So teach them something. You know, if you don't got nothing to teach them, go find something to teach them. Right. You know, like you should make that your responsibility. You know, people out here looking like, shit, I can't wait for a new drug for me to rap about. I can't wait for some new designer to come out. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I can rap. Like, that's the only thing new you got to get these people. Other than that, y'all saying the same shit over and over, just to a different beat. It's fucked up when people can predict what you gonna talk about. Average Chicago rapper, they like, oh, he's Chicago, oh, he must be a drill rapper. Okay, he gonna talk about Molly Water, Ops, Dots, you know, 40s, foreigns, you know, Gucci, Louis, you know, Papa nigga, 30 Papa, Chicago rapper. Like, and then it's like, that's my main thing, is to always stay unpredictable and effective. And if you got those two things, nothing can stop you. You'll never be a rerun.
Yeah. That's what's up. Did you by chance hear about what happened up here as far as the T.I. show getting shot
The
up
Troy
over
Ave
Irving
shit.
Plaza?
I don't know the whole thing, but yeah, I heard about it. I seen the clip from
Mm-hmm.
On Instagram and shit like that. I wish, you got to surround yourself with certain people to where, when things like that happen, you the star. You know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't be the one to have to do that. You know what I'm saying? Not saying it's not possible for you to have to do something like that, but, you should be like one of the last options or the last option, because if you go down, everybody with you is like, we can't turn up how we turn up no more. This is bro shit. This was his dream, and it's like, I don't know him personally and shit like that, and I don't know much about the whole situation, but we don't have too many successful black men as it is, period, so I'm praying for him. Hope we get out this situation and get back on track, and everything work out for him.
Yeah, it's messed up. They've canceled several gigs that was hip hop shows that was supposed to happen at that venue. I think Little Durk might have been one of them, if I'm not mistaken. But like it was a couple of people who got their shows canceled off the strength of that.
Right.
And the cops jumped on it, said it was hip hop, called us all thugs. And
right. Yeah, that's crazy.
T.I. had to catch flag, and he didn't even do anything.
Right.
He just showed up. Like, he was just there to do his show.
Right.
So I think about that when you hear about. I would ask this question to somebody else, not necessarily you, after what we just got finished talking about. One of my questions would be, when you rap about the streets, you rap about, does seeing things like this make it more difficult to rhyme about the things you do? But I guess that's one of the reasons why you throw messages in everything that you're doing, to kind of avoid these kind of consequences.
Right. Yeah. And like, I don't gangbang,
There we go.
Damn near everybody in Chicago that raps, if you do gangster rap, then 10 times out of 10 you gangbang, and it's like, I'm probably the only relevant rapper in Chicago that don't gangbang as far as that does gangster music, you know what I'm saying? And it's just really about maturing and just, wising up. Most of these rappers, they still, on Instagram throwing down at the gang sets. Now you can't go conduct business on a certain side of your own town, shit like that. Like, how smart is that? It's a lot of niggas that lives been took around, like niggas lost their homies, but you bringing in this negativity with your social media. Like, I got a social media to promote my music,
right?
Not to go reply to anybody that made a diss song about me, not to disrespect a whole nother nation of gangs, you know what I'm saying, and piss motherfuckers off, not to flash all my earnings, like it's not nobody out there with more money than me, you know what I'm saying? Like, any rapper that signed a deal can't have a big wad of money in their hand just like this, doing the same fucking thing just like that after they sign a contract and get a check, So, I don't know, like, a lot of people do a lot of shit for attention nowadays, especially social media. And I just feel like, attention, of course, that they get attention is gonna get you that. It's gonna get you looks. Attention not necessarily gonna get you paid. You got people that's retarded on Instagram with probably 20 times the following that I got. And then now you want to try to make a rap song, but nobody's gonna buy that. Nobody's buying it.
Right.
Like, you got some people that's like, they just pure entertainment on social medias. Even some rappers, it's like, damn, but you got all these followers, but your album not selling. Like, but you're entertaining to see. Like, we like to watch your Instagram. You doing silly shit on Instagram, but your record sales not up there because the majority of your followers are people that's coming to watch the show, and your words that's coming out your mouth doesn't really touch them or do them like that. Your words are not deep enough for them to be like, let me go in my pocket and pay for this shit.
Right.
And people lost focus of that type of shit, I think, as far as rappers and hip-hop today. I feel like all these rappers that's coming out nowadays is like, he turned up. His hair red. His hair blonde. You know, he wearing these tight ass clothes. He, you know, he he's saucing or whatever the fuck. You know, just it's not too much. All you know, back in the day, it was like, nigga gotta be lyrical, or you not getting on BET. You not coming to Rap City in the basement.
Right. True.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
True.
These niggas wouldn't even have a career if shit was still like that. You know what I'm saying?
True.
And it's like, to me, it's kind of like, that's even my responsibility. Like, you gotta steer hip hop back in either in the right direction. If I can't do it, and get somebody something that they can listen to, somebody who is doing it, or like, you know, saving hip hop, or, you know, it is about youth. You know, but that says a lot about the direction the future is headed in. If our youth is only following people wearing tight ass clothes and coloring their hair and mumbling and, you know, talking about doing drugs instead of selling drugs, or talking about, you know, just nothing for black women, like nothing at all positive for black women. Just you mention a woman, she gonna be a bitch every time, and she gonna be giving me top. You know, it's just nothing showing maturity, you know, nothing to make a woman feel special or like she the only one, or none of that type of shit, you know. And I just feel like it's just, you know, it's just time for that type of change or that type of guidance. And I feel like it has to come from someone that they knows about the bad shit and has been through the bad shit, you know, and can touch on it and can admit, yeah, I was wrong, or I was but this is what I do now, you know, and this is how I try to fix it, you know, so I try to get right, you know, but at the same time, I'm still gonna be ready if the devil come knocking at the door. Like I said, I'm no stranger to the bullshit. So, you know, just know I'm ready and I'm prepared if it comes to that, or if you bring it to my porch, you know.